Classifying matter. Examples of matter range from grains of rice to the stars, from a drop of water to the rocks of the Grand Canyon, from a potato chip to a computer chip. Matter is all the stuff around us. It is all part of the same puzzle. You know that all these bits of matter connect in some way, just like the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. But there are so many different sizes and kinds of matter. How can you begin to make sense of the puzzle of matter? Just as you do when you work a jigsaw puzzle, you first classify the pieces before trying to make connections. You might find pieces that share common properties, such as a flat edge or the same color, and place them in separate piles. By placing the pieces in these separate, smaller piles, it is easier to see how they might connect to form the completed picture. Classification by composition. A powerful way to classify matter is by its composition. This is the broadest type of classification. When you examine an unknown piece of matter, you first ask, what is it made of? For example, sucrose is composed of the elements carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. This kind of description is a qualitative expression of composition. A qualitative observation is one that can be made without measurement. After a qualitative analysis, the next question that you might ask is how much of each of the elements is present. For sucrose, the answer to that question is that 100 grams of sucrose contains 42.1 grams of carbon, 51.4 grams of oxygen, and 6.5 grams of hydrogen. This is a quantitative expression of composition. A quantitative observation is one that uses measurement. You make quantitative measurements every day when you answer such questions as, what's the temperature? How long was the touchdown pass? How much do you weigh? Figure 1.9 shows some quantitative measurements being made. Pure substance or a mixture. Another general way to classify matter by composition is in terms of purity. There are only two categories. A sample of matter is either pure, made up of only one kind of matter, or it is a mixture of different kinds of matter. What does it mean to say that matter is pure? Pure substances. The word pure is often used to describe common things, as in figure 110. In chemistry, pure means that every bit of the matter being examined is the same substance. A substance is matter with the same fixed composition and properties. Any sample of pure matter is a substance. If the sugar in a bag from the supermarket is a substance, then it is pure sucrose. Every bit of matter in the bag must have the same properties and the same fixed composition as every other bit. Now consider a bag of high-quality dry white sand. White sand is the common name for a substance called silicon dioxide. It is white and crystalline like sugar, and when the sand is examined, every particle has the same fixed composition, 53.2% oxygen, 46.8% silicon. Both sand and sucrose are substances, but they have different properties and compositions. Mixtures. Suppose you mix pure sand with sucrose. You might not be able to see any difference, but if you add this mixture to your tea, as shown in figure 111, it's a different story. The sweet taste of the sugar is still there, but so is the grittiness of the sand. Every particle is not the same, so the properties are not the same throughout. Some parts taste sweet, while others are gritty and tasteless. The composition is also not fixed, but instead depends on how much sand, sugar, and tea are mixed into the water. Most of the matter you encounter every day is a mixture. A mixture is a combination of two or more substances in which the basic identity of each substance is not changed. In the sugar and sand mixture, the sand does not influence the properties of the sugar, and the sugar does not influence the properties of the sand. They are in contact with each other, but they do not interact with each other. Figure 112 shows some common mixtures.